Hey everyone! So today I'm going to go and show and talk about the Microbit. It's a tiny computer that was really fun to use and create with. I thought of it kind of like a tiny brain that you can program to do all kinds of different things with it. Some of the things that I created were for it to light up with pictures, push buttons to show different images, and then make sounds and scroll messages across the screen. Part of the best thing about the software was that we used to make this computer work was just using the website called Make Code. The layout of the website kind of reminded me of like using Legos, where you snap together the color coded blocks to build different programs. And this kind of forced me into that mindset of thinking like a coder and being able to create some really cool things. So, one of the biggest challenges that I faced was simply getting the code from the computer onto the microbit itself. It seemed pretty straightforward, but sometimes the computer wouldn't recognize the device. And I learned to troubleshoot by checking the cable connection and making sure that the microbit was connected correctly. I also learned that it's very important for students to save their projects because mine got lost at one point and I had to start over. So that was a valuable lesson to remember moving into using this into my own classroom. Some of the ways that I thought I could use this microbit and make code in my classroom, I teach kindergarten. And so part of the idea that I thought was to kind of introduce learners at an early stage into this computational thinking was just kind of starting with small projects like learning to sequence with making an emotion badge where the students could put blocks in order to program a happy face with a push one button and then a sad face to press the other. They could even use an X or a check mark, like if I asked a question where they could quietly answer where only I saw it, instead of yelling out a yes or a no to answer questions. Another thought was that the microbit could be used to help with storytelling. When we read books, we could have a program where the microbit kind of made sound effects or it made flashlights. To kind of go with parts of different stories that we told. And this would really combine that creative play part and technology with stories coming to life. So let me start off with showing you my microbit. This is the one that I purchased and that I programmed using the Make code. It's got an A button and a B button. I programmed it to scroll across the front to say welcome, and that it's going to start with a little sound once I plug it in. And then I can shake it and it will make a little tune for you. And if I push both A and B at the same time, it's going to show a different picture. And there's also going to be a picture that kind of scrolls in the background, kind of as like a waiting screen, is kind of how I thought of it. So let me plug it in and show you. And I just have my USB cable plugged into my computer right now. So you heard the noise come on that I programmed, and now it's just saying welcome. And this is my screen, just kind of like the waiting screen that I created for it to kind of flash this little triangle in and out. If I push the A button, it's going to give me a check. If I push the B button, it's going to give me an X. If I push the A and B at the same time, it's going to give me a heart. And then if I shake it, it's going to play a scale up and down, and then it stops. And then it goes right back to this waiting screen. So that was my computational thinking using the microbit and using MakeCode. Thanks so much for watching.